2023 was a big year for Magic. We had the highest selling set of all time in Lord of the Rings, with the One of One ring being the most expensive card ever made. We also had the end of the Phyrexians, for better or for worse, and much, much more. But how did all of this affect Commander? Where are we now and what should we expect for next year? First, I want to talk about something I was excited to hear about. Universes Beyond is going to be toned down a little bit. No premier sets currently in design will feature Universes Beyond cards. No more inserts. In my video about Universes Beyond, I lamented that the future of the game is going to be killing off the Magic IP and just doing Universes Beyond, and greedy executives would just fire all the designers for Magic. And I was wrong about killing off Magic's IP. Very right about the greedy executives though. And like a monkey's paw curling, my wish was granted in a way that feels awful. Hasbro cut 1,100 jobs right before the holidays, many of which worked at Wizards. This is so awful. The CEO takes a $10 million bonus while the company overall fell further behind, and they cut people from the part of the company that is still making money. Universes Beyond, which led to the highest selling set of all time, was directed by Megan Donahue, who was fired, and she said she didn't see this coming. This seemed to be the most profitable part of the game at the time. Although I didn't like Universes Beyond, from a business perspective, everybody there was doing a good job. So it's sad to see that people being successful at their job getting laid off. And it's not just Magic the Gathering. Lead designer on Baldur's Gate said that the people at Wizards who set up and greenlit the biggest game of the year were almost all fired. And what does this do for company morale? Do a good job and then get fired? The fact that C-suite executives can continue to make poor decisions, fire people, fail upwards into millions of dollars is a larger societal issue that is beyond the scope of my channel. To focus back on Magic though, I really hope this doesn't have a negative impact on quality, but I could see how it would. I mean, think about the company morale. Your reward for doing well is getting fired, so why put as much effort in? Why do well? I feel like this could affect the game next year in perhaps some small ways or maybe even larger ones. I really hope not. I think that they need to make some changes to management to help fix this, but it is possible that this could affect the game next year. We'll have to wait and see though. Continuing on with the bad for a bit, honestly, I think most Magic formats were kind of let down this year. Standard rotating less is, I think, worse for the game, and Modern, one of my favorite formats, has just felt awful because of those dumb elementals. I haven't touched the format for a little while because I've just felt very discouraged by what the metagame looks like. And Wizards just really dropped the ball on making competitive play more important, which they said they were going to do this year, but they really didn't. Pauper is still fun though, but for Commander specifically, I think this was a pretty good year. I think Commander is somewhat insulated from a lot of the other issues that competitive 60-card formats have. Before making this video, I went to my LGS to play some games with new decks that I built. I rolled up to a table with 3 strangers and jammed some games. Those games were really fun. Not just because I ended up winning all 3, but because of how it happened. The first game, my deck just functioned. I got Kazul out and got to use the new Throne, making it really difficult to attack me. This was my first time I had cast Roaming Throne as well, and it was really powerful, even in a non-typal deck. I even got to double up a Zealot's Conscripts trigger since I named Warrior, not Ogre. Next game, I was on my Heliod Drago control deck. By the way, expect a video about this deck. It's super fun, it's really cool. I'll talk about it more later. But the game ended in a 1v1 where I had Portcullis in play, and my commander, and my opponent had a creature in play. So we both couldn't play more creatures, and I really only won because I got lucky on 3 mana crypt flips in a row. My last game was on Nihilor, and on turn 4 I cast a Bribery, stealing a giant Adaphage, which is a classic, cool, fun, big Timmy card. And then an opponent of mine used a threaten effect to yoink the Adaphage for a turn, and he got a copy of it. So the two of us just ran down the table with a pile of bugs. Unluckily for him, I drew my Cyclonic Rift, swept him with 3 tokens in play, and closed out the game from there. And those were all fun, exciting games where I got to use new cards, old ones that I hadn't used before. And that's kind of my point. Commander is in a good spot. You can build almost any style of deck, type of deck, archetype, tribe, whatever you want. And the shop was just full of people playing EDH and having a blast. Commander is very much alive and well, and I think that next year we'll continue to see improvements. Some people have commented on my ranking every legendary creatures ever series that I'll never catch up. And I know, that's fine. They printed over 400 legends in 2023 alone, which is up from the 300-ish in 2022. I would need to do like 3 videos a day to catch up, but I really don't mind tons of legends. Yeah, there's some overlap here and there, but I really like niche commanders that do weird things. And having more legends means that they can print more of those. Maybe we could tone down the number of legends a tad. 400 might be excessive, but there are so many interesting ones that I can't complain that much. And for Commander, the game has gotten a decent bit cheaper. Wizards still refuses to print some of the most expensive pieces, like no Dockside in Commander Masters, really? And it was upshifted to Mythic and Masters 2022. But other than the most expensive cards and reserve list stuff, many cards got cheaper due to bonus sheets and remastered sets. Dominaria Remastered reprinted many powerful cards like the 1-mana Tutors, Sylvan Library, and Force of Will. Plus, Wilds of Eldraine Enchanting Tales did a ton to tank the price of cards. I mean, Doubling Season, Fiery Emancipation, Smothering Tithe, and Heuristic Study showing up in standard packs is insane. These bonus sheets, similar to Strixhaven, added a lot of great reprints. Many of the cards that were pricey tanked to like $1. And in Mark Rosewater's State of Design 2023 article, he talked about how upping their bonus sheet game was regarded as a positive. And if this is going to be the norm going forward, I think that we could see many of the $10 and $20 staples slide in price, making EDH more open and accessible for other players. And the addition of alternative treatments, serialized cards, super special, chocolate covered, extra shiny foil versions tend to lower the price of cards. See, if there's a super expensive, ultra rare version of a card, then a lot of the collector dollars centers around those, meaning that the normal base version, even if it is a good card, tends to trend even lower down in price. And if we continue to see all sorts of these wacky collector versions of cards, we're probably going to see the base versions stay extra low. And I think continuing to see bonus sheet reprints or these special treatments of this caliber and wacky commander designs are going to lead to 2024 being a great year for EDH. The last thing I want to talk about is the channel. I want to thank all of you for supporting me this year. I've had a blast making these videos, and I'm so happy people enjoy them. I gained over 2,000 subs this last year, and I couldn't be happier. If anything, it really just pushes me to make more content. So next year, I plan to continue the opinion pieces, archetype breakdowns, and budget buying series. I plan to have some gameplay, longer videos, and generally, I'll try to upload the quality of my editing. I'm sure it's apparent, but I'm learning editing as I go, really. Thanks again for everything. Happy New Year, and stay tuned for more in 2024.